Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to dive into Matter Overdrive, and I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to generate tons and tons of power for basically nothing. So, I hope you guys are ready. So today we are going to be messing around with gravitational anomalies, and that is going to be a part of Matter Overdrive. And you can see I have my data pad here, which is all ready to go, and we're going to be working mostly on the power section. And yeah, the gravitational anomaly section. We have a lot of work ahead of us, a lot of work to prep up for and to get items pretty much made for this. So with Matter Overdrive, let's pop into here. We're going to need to take a look at a few different machines that are going to affect those gravitational anomalies. If you don't know what those are, you've probably experienced them as you've traveled through these dimensions. They'll spawn in the world and you'll kind of get sucked into them. They'll slingshot you and things like that. So the gravitational anomalies are pretty cool. They can generate tons and tons of power. So it's a very good power source, and we're going to need reactor controllers, which means we're going to need some machine casings. Of course, I should have enough of the tritanium at this point. I have what, 500 of that? That's actually, I mean, that's quite a lot. I'm going to go ahead and, because we actually stopped our production of tritanium at this point. But we can always start the thing and duplicate them if we need to. So we need to make this, which requires a holographic sign. I have already made a holographic sign. Let me kind of demonstrate what the holographic sign does. For an example, you can place it down and you can type things in here. So we can go like, hi guys. And when we back out of here, by hitting the X button, it'll show up, and it's actually a holographic display that kind of sticks out there, and you can see that. Pretty interesting, pretty neat little thing. But these are also used in crafting for a lot of different things. All right, so some of the main things that I'm going to set here in craft, right? The fusion reactor controller definitely is something that needs to be made, and it's going to require these fusion reactor coils, and we're going to need a few of them. A lot. Well, I say a few. We're gonna need a lot of them, actually. And these are actually going to require the superconductor magnets, which are pretty simple to make. And that's how this thing is supposed to theoretically work. But you notice here that we're also going to need the circuit MK2s. Now, these are actually pretty slow to produce, but we should be able to make some speed upgrades for our machines. We have hyperspeed upgrades. And we have normal upgrades, which I think do 35%. I'm not going to worry about those. We're just going to go with regular speed upgrades. And I think it supports 2 or 4. I don't remember. Either way, we're going to make a couple. There's our speed upgrades right here. Speed. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 because I think these support 2. And we're going to go down where all of our Android stuff is at, right over here. And right here is where this is at, and you go to the upgrade section. It supports 4. So we can theoretically put 4 upgrades in here. It's going to use more power, but it's also going to speed it up significantly. So I want to go ahead and get all this stuff crafted up, and then we're going to work on getting through some anomaly stuff and show you guys how exactly to gain power using this mod. And when I say power, I mean a lot of it. So now I think I am just about ready. I think I have everything ready to go. I have some gravitational stabilizers. Now you can have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I'm only using 3. We're going to do 2 on each side and 1 on the top, and I'll kind of explain how those are going to work. We have the machine holes that we're going to need. I think we're going to need 12 of them, and then we're going to need 9 fusion reactor coils. You could do 10 fusion reactor coils and 1 less matter decomposer, but believe me, you're probably going to want an extra decomposer just to kind of get that up and running. So we're going to have matter decomposers going. We're going to need some matter as well. And that's where I think diamonds are really going to come in handy. These each are well worth it. And we have so many diamonds. I mean, we can just craft so many of them. Might as well just go ahead and get them started. And then we can actually, let's see, we can make them ourselves too. Might as well. And just have some on us, right? I wonder if that's going to stop producing now that it's ran out. Probably not. I don't know. But anyways, it's already pulled the amount. So we have some diamonds on us. That's going to get us some matter. Also, we're going to use that to kind of pump our matter, our gravitational anomaly. Now, there are some things we can do for ourselves that would kind of help. And that is, in here, we have this Spacetime Equalizer that we can apply to ourselves. Really, we need to do this limb overclocking and upgrade that. That should unlock high jump, but you see we do not have enough experience to do that, unfortunately. Let's see, we do have matter though, and we have a little bit of this pristine wither matter, and I thought you could shift right. Oh no, it's the other matter. Let's see, we have a lot of overworldly matter, so let's go ahead and take that. And that is actually experience. If you shift right click with it, it will give you experience. Now, it does say this needs it needs, what does it say, piston for this. So let's go ahead and grab a piston. But I think I'm going to work towards getting this unlocked fully. That now gets us high jump, and this one is going to be 18 experience, negates fall damage, and then this one's going to require Spacetime Equalizer. So that is what I'm going to need. But as you see, I'm going to also need a lot of the overworldly matter. Right, so let's go ahead and get a few of those. I might be able to just enough. I might have just enough to be able to get this. Let's see, Spacetime Equalizer. Do I have another one laying around? I might. I don't think I do. So let's go ahead and make one. Just for this occasion. And what this is going to do is going to prevent that pulling that this thing does. So Spacetime Equalizer. Here we go. We need a Heisenberg, which is pretty simple because I've already made a bunch of those parts. So there we go. I just need to make the Heisenberg. And then we have a Spacetime Equalizer. Awesome. So all I need now is to just get enough levels, which I think I just now have. And we now can unlock Spacetime Equalizer. Now, this is going to negate the gravitational effects of the gravitational anomalies. I do believe this gets rid of all of the effects. I hope. Because if that works, we're going to have a pretty easy time. So, some good places that we can get this started. Also, I do need a weirding gadget in here. I think I have a weirding gadget somewhere. Let's take a look. Well, I probably need 2 weirding gadgets, to be honest. So let's go ahead and make 2 weirding gadgets. I'm going to need 1 in my base, which, I mean, makes total sense. Let's just place it right here. And we're going to need 1 where we go. Now, a good place to find these can be in any dimension. But I think Lost Cities is actually one of the better dimensions to find them in. So we have the Lost Cities here, because usually they'll be right where you spawn, if you're lucky. So I think I have everything. Let's also grab some building blocks like cobble. And also grab a party pickaxe that has a little bit more durability on it. There we go. And that should be plenty. So once that is done, it looks like our platforms are moving all over the place. We're going to look for something that's kind of glittery or sparkling. And we see a few in the distance. At least I can see some. They're going to be a little bit lower. And I'm looking for ones that are probably closer to my setup here. But I do see that they are... Oh, there's one right here. You'll see some kind of like particle effects surrounding them. And if you get close, I am noticing that I do not feel any of the issues. So this one is a range of 7 that it'll, I guess, start breaking blocks that has a certain breaking level. Let's see if it'll break this block if I place it. Okay, good. So it doesn't. So that's perfect. That means we can get this set up and start working from this one. Because the size I'm not too worried about, as we are going to be adjusting that soon. So you need to go 4 blocks out. There's 4 blocks out. And this is where you're going to place your fusion reactor controller. Right? And that is, of course, going to act very wonky. I do not want it to face that particular direction. Wonder why it's doing that. I mean, I guess you could place it like that, but that's not how I want it to face. Well, of course, I had to break my pickaxe. Let me go ahead and see. I am going to need a wrench for this. I almost forgot to mention that. Alright, let's go back to the base. I'm going to have to grab a wrench. Okay, so I think I figured it out. For some reason, if I place it on this side, it wants to do the rotational thing. If I place it on this side, it is just fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will place the reactor controller again. There we go. Much better. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know why it was doing it the other way, but that's how it's supposed to be set up. All right, so on each side of that, I'm going to go ahead and put the matter decomposers here. On both sides. Perfect. And now on these blocks, it's going to be a little bit different. Let's go ahead and take a look at how these are set up. We are going to use machine hulls on each of these blocks that they're requiring. So I'm going to go ahead and zigzag the pattern like so. And continue doing that until we get to here. Because this is where things are going to start to change. So I need to get all of the other sides done. Just like this. And there we go. There's some more. Now I do see that I'm probably going to need a few more of these. I thought that they were only 3 wide, but I see now they're 4. So I am going to have to go back and make some more. But I'm just going to show you for an example that right here is where these reactor coils go. So these fusion reactor coils are going to go right there. We can go ahead and bring up more. And they're going to go right here. And it's going to be the same for over here. You're going to have 4 of these, and then 3 reactor coils, 4 of these, 3 reactor coils. So that should be pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and get this sort of laid out so that way they're easy to place for me later on. And that way I can just break these blocks whenever I'm done. But just like this, reactor coils, they're going to go here. So once you get the last ones placed and ready to go, that should complete the structure. And you see that this kind of went away. The box that was there kind of just up and disappeared, which is exactly what you want to see. And we now have a sort of structure built. But it's not exactly finished, as I do want to add a few things. We do have these gravitational stabilizers. Now, I recommend placing them down before you start working on this thing, as, let's just say, things can start to get a little wonky on you if you're not careful. So I'm going to go 4 up, and then I'm going to place this looking straight down. Just like that. And then when I break this, this is now, as you see, going to be stabilizing this thing. And we now have a readout up here. And you can see that it's sort of making this thing smaller. I do want to place 2 more facing this thing. And so I'm going to do so by placing some blocks right here. Now you can place this stuff inside, and it's not actually going to affect it any, which I find nice. But I do want that readout up there. So what I can do is just go ahead and break this. Let's go ahead and get this. I do have my magnet on, so make sure that I do pick this up. And over here. And what we're going to do is place it like so. And that's going to send another beam. And place one like so. That's going to shoot out another beam. Perfect. Then we can place our reactor coils back. And that is going to complete that section there. And then we can go ahead and go down and remove these. Now, this is just a prerequisite. This is just something that we're doing to help us out later on down the road. Because believe me, it is going to definitely help. All right. And now we're going to need to power this. So these matter decomposers need a little bit of power to kind of jumpstart them working. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and give them a little bit of power. Hook them up to our network. And they should now have power. And to do this, I'm going to throw some diamonds in each one of them. And you can see that matter readout is how much it's going to be generating. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the speed upgrades in there. I have 4 for each. And that's just going to help that go a lot faster. All right, and we're looking at this readout here. So you can see right now, this is only going to produce 163 FE a tick, or RF a tick, at the moment. We need to get matter in here before this will start working. You can see there is no matter, and the charge is how much this thing is filled up. So right now, it's sort of using that pull to generate power. That's the best way to describe this. And these have to give it some matter first in order for it to start. You can see it's 25%. And once it kind of gets a little bit of power in here, it's going to start generating power, which will in turn start filling these up. And you can see this is going to require a little bit of power. This is requiring 299 just to run with diamonds in it, right? But we can speed this up a little bit. Once this starts to fill up, we can come a little closer here, as the effects are, we're not going to be experiencing any of these effects. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw some diamonds in here. Now I'm going to throw a stack of 64. That is going to be 256 times 64, and that's going to increase this thing's mass. You can see its current mass is 8,262. If we throw that in there, with turning our magnet off, first of all, let's turn our magnet off. Let's get a little bit closer. Throw a stack. Now it is 24,646. And that should have bumped our power up to 451 RF a tick. So we can continue to do this. We have stabilizers. Now we want to keep an eye on the block break radius or range. So currently the block break range is 3 blocks, right? And 3.5 blocks. But our break level is 0.01. So we want to make sure that our break level stays low, and that's where these stabilizers are helping, and it's also helping reduce the actual size of this thing as well, because this thing can also get very large. So I want to at least gain a couple thousand RF a tick. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the rest of these diamonds in here. And now we're at 100,000, and now we're producing enough power that we can supply the matter over here. So we no longer need this, and of course one of those just flew in there. That's fine. And what we can do now is we can hook up a plug, not a point. There we go. We can hook up a plug, and this will start sending power back home, provided that we have enough diamonds in here to provide this with power. So we are going to need an ender chest or something like that to automatically transfer items into this. We could use cobblestone generators, actually. Let's take a look. We might need to go home, and I can put cobblestone generators directly underneath this. And this will just generate cobblestone and keep cobblestone in here permanently. That's another good thing we can do. So I think that would work pretty good. It all depends on how fast cobblestone generators actually function in this. We'll just have to see. Another thing, though, before we go, is we're going to need to place a weirding gadget down somewhere. I'm just going to go ahead and place a weirding gadget right here. That's going to keep this chunk loaded and provide that, and it's going to make sure we are getting enough power. Now, we can always come back and throw other items in here to make this larger. But we want to keep in mind, we don't want that break level to go real high, because the break range can start breaking our blocks, such as our plug and our weirding gadget. It will not break any of the blocks from Matter Overdrive, but it can break these certain items. So we want to make sure we don't go high enough to cause that to happen. Because, I mean, then we won't be able to pull power out of it, which is not okay. So I think I've come up with a solution for making sure that this thing can stay full and charged. I realize cobblestone is just not enough, but we can kind of make our cobblestone go a little bit further. And what I plan on doing is taking an auto crafter here, giving it some power, which I'm surprised it's not actually getting a charge. It should be getting a charge from this. But if it doesn't fully, I guess I can go ahead and provide it with a point. Even though I thought it would be getting a charge from here. Kind of sad that it doesn't. But what we can do is set this up to auto pull out here. We can go, all right, I'm going to make a furnace, and I'm going to pull the furnace out. So if I apply this underneath, that's going to apply this or provide this with enough stuff. Oh, it does look like it is receiving power. Okay. It was just kind of glitched out there. And that's going to provide furnaces. And then we're going to extract the furnaces right here. And those are going to go inside here. And that is going to be way better than our current setup. And I think the 8 should be enough to provide this with enough material to stay running at its current rate, which is 1500 RF tick. So pretty decent so far. I think this is an absolute wonderful setup for power. And of course, you can make this thing go really high, all the way up to 20,000 plus RF a tick, if you so desired. For me, I am not too concerned about it, as we already have a nice power generation setup. This is literally just a bonus for that. So yeah, this is literally just an adding to our power generation, which we already have so much of as of right now. But I did want to demonstrate this and show this off to you guys so you guys can see some Matter Overdrive. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.